with Odun. Real Talk with Odun is a show for women by women. We come, we talk, we gist, we gossip, and normal gossip. I call it gossip, but someone actually told me last week to stop saying it's gossip.
Gossip. Okay.
I'm like, okay, I've had. But basically, it's a show where we come and talk as women. You know, for a very long time we were muffled. For a very long time we were just being seen but not heard. But now we can talk, like we can say our piece, and the heaven will not fall. Okay? So that's one of the things we do on Real Talk with Odun. And today we'll be talking about the whys. We have one of our returnee guests. Her name is Bimbo Olashope. Like she just said, the last time she was on the show was 2 years ago. I think that was when we just started the show. It's been a while. Don't mind that she ran away, but she's back now. She's back now. So welcome to the show, Bimbo.
Thank you very much for having me, Odun.
Thank you. Can you just, for the benefit of those joining us for the first time, can you just give us a brief introduction about yourself? My grandma Tamlin, thank you for joining, ma'am. Ola Sukombi, thank you for joining. Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah. All right, so my name is Bimbo Olasope, aka La Beans, aka Auntie Bimbo, and like I just said, the Mary Poppins of, well, I used to be the Mary Poppins of parenting, but now I'm Mary Poppins of content because I'm in an evolving stage of my life. All right, so I'm transitioning into Mary Poppins of content where I have different things that add value to people in one way or the other. I'm someone who believes in adding value in any opportunity I get, either I'm even working or just my life story, my life experience. I like to share so that someone, even if it's just one person, like I always, even if it's just one person that would learn or be able to, you know, achieve something from what I'm saying or what I'm doing, then my work would have been done. So that's just me in a nutshell, okay? Currently, I just finished my master's program in the University of Hull in the UK. So, and I think that's just, like I said, thank you, it's a big deal, big deal.
It is a big deal, like they will say, if it is you to run them now.
Run them, you know, this old age, doing masters. So thank God, that's where I am. So I'm in a transitioning phase right now where I'm just trying to transition into the next level of my life, which is living in the UK, getting a job, and of course, continuing my life like as I've always done, which is to add value.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So before we go into the show itself, I just want to ask, how are your kids?
Oh, they are very, very well, doing great, doing amazing. I mean, I look at them every day and I just thank God that, man, the journey has been worth it, to be honest. I'm getting teary-eyed. I want to cry.
Don't be. But we bless God. I'm very sure it's tears of joy, but we thank God they are doing well. Thank God they are doing great. Thank you so much for sharing that part of you. Thank you. So Esther Queen, I see you. Esther Queen, I need you to put a post out because we've not seen any of our own people except you. So can you let them know we're on? Because I've not seen Ame, I've not seen Ajishola, I've not seen our regulars. So if you can get in touch with them and let them know we are on. All right, so Bimbo, I know we talked about you sharing your story, and just like the main thing we are going to talk about is the why you end up marrying who you marry, why you stayed in an abuse, why, you know, the whys that women wonder, what we think about. Most of the times we are quick to say, why didn't she leave? Why this? That? Married, the red flags were there. Why did you marry the person? You know, we always have a lot of whys, but even though our answers to the whys varies, we'll try as much as possible to just see from your own perspective why you did something, the things you do, and let's just go from there. Let's just start with you sharing your story.
Okay, so I was married for 7 years, and then a domestic abusive marriage for 7 years, and then I've left now. I think this is the 13th year that I've left that marriage. Now, interestingly, like I shared with Odun before we came on this live, this month is my month of independence. In Nigeria, October 1st is the month of independence, is the date of independence. October 2nd is my own independence because October 2nd, 2009 was when I ran out of that marriage, you know, and to the glory of God, here I am 13 years after, despite all, you know, what people have said and what people are still saying. Okay, so why did I get married to who I got married to? That's a very, very prime question, because I think that is the bedrock of the foundation of what we're talking about. Why do we do the things we do? Now, for me, I got married because I felt that was the next thing to do. All right. the way my life was, I'd been configured or mentally influenced to think we were following a blueprint, a script where you go to school, you finish school, secondary school, you go to university. After university, you go and serve NYSC in Nigeria for our Nigerian people. After serving, you work. After working, you get married and you have children. Okay, so for me, it was like I was following that blue script. So I'd at that blueprint. I'd finished school, university, I'd served, I'd finished serving, and of course, the next thing was marriage. But you know, in hindsight, after I got married and I was faced with the domestic situation, I realized that my wife for getting married, aside it being the fact that I was following a blueprint, was also because I was lonely, right? My childhood had a lot to play with that. From age 6, I started living with family friends. So, you know, funny enough, a lot of things that I do now, I realized that was because of my childhood. So I started living with family friends. Supposedly, I was supposed to be there Monday to Friday, and then my mom will come and pick me on Friday. Now, my mom is also a single mom. Yeah, unfortunately. Or well, I won't say unfortunately, but you know, that cycle, you know, because that's also one of the whys as well. I didn't want to be a single mom. You know, that's why I stayed for that 7 years. But let me not jump the gun. So my mom had left my dad. My school was in Ikoyi. We're living in Ikoyi. I was born and bred in Ikoyi. I was born with a silver spoon, and now life.
You're born in a food.
Oh, my life showed me. So, you know, we moved from there to Anthony Village, and then, you know, that was far from where my school was. It was tough going to school. So my mom decided with her family friend, one of her family friends, whose children were also attending the same school, that, okay, let me be staying with them because they were, you know, closer to school. Let me stay with them, and then she'll pick me on Fridays. But that never happened. It happened a couple of times, and after a while, maybe it wasn't convenient or whatever, she stopped coming to pick me on those Fridays, and that became, okay, just be coming home during holidays, you know, that kind of thing. So, and you know what it is, man, I suffered my childhood, you know, you're not the child of the family, you're the one that is doing the hard work, the housework, you're the one they are beating all the time. So I had a very, very rough childhood, okay? And then by the time, and I lived with that family up until my secondary school, I attended FGGC's Shagamu, which was a boarding school. So yeah, I would go to boarding school, but during holidays, I'll be back with those family friends because as at that time, my mom had started traveling. Pardon?
Not back home.
Not back home, it was back to them. My mom was traveling at that time. Although now I understand that because she also was not ready for, you know, she became a single. So I think that was her own way of coping, because I won't lie, you know, I'm a certified life coach, by the way. So I've gone through all the motions and notions of knowing the why, okay? So back to those people's house and all of that. And then by the time I was 16, you know, by then I could outrightly tell my mom that, oh, mommy, this is what is going on, you know, things are not working well. And then I had marks all over my body, you know, they'll beat me with water hose and all of that. So, you know, she was now like, you know what, I should start living, I should go and start living back home in Anthony, which was where we're living here. My mom was living, I should be living there, I can stay on my own, that after all, in the UK, from age 16, 17, you can start living by yourself. So by age 16, I moved back to Anthony, but my mom was never around. So it was just me living in the place. You understand? So I won't lie, it was very, very lonely. I can't count how many times I cried. Actually, I wanted to be part of a family, you understand? So it was just, you know, I was just waiting for that moment where, because I remember vividly, I was telling God, oh, God, I want to have a family, even if it's just to have children that will keep me company and all of that, you get. So I was in that phase. So 16, 17, entered Unilag. In fact, my house was the base where all my friends usually used to come to stay and, you know, do their runs, because their families, their parents got to know me, and they were always amazed that, how can a 16-year-old be living in 3-bedroom flats all by herself, you know, that kind of thing. So that continued. And of course, by the time, like I said, I finished serving, I was just like, oh, please, I want to just marry, you get, like, so that I can have my own family and not be lonely anymore. So that's how it happened. So I wasn't looking out for, you know, I didn't look out for, will I say the signs, or look out or have I don't know how to explain, to say, oh, this is the kind of man I want, a loving man, a this, a that, because I was not used to that, if I will explain it. I just wanted
You just wanted to have that.
God bless you, that's the word. I just wanted to have a family. And in fairness to my ex, when I met his family were awesome, to be honest with you. They were amazing people. In fact, I still have, even right here in the UK, his cousins, his nephews, they are still amazing people to me and my children. So I will give that to them. So when I met his family, you know, like I tell people, I said, I was dating his family. Do you understand? Do you know, my ex would take me to his house, leave me in his house, go out all night. I'm with his mom, his dad, his sister. She's late now, God rest her soul. And then I'm gisting with them. I'm going out with them, you know, and that was a thrill for me because I didn't have it growing up. So, you know, my mother-in-law, then I'll wear her clothes. They'll say, ah, they're going for one family. Ah, you're working in here, you're this near, you know, that kind of thing. I wanted that. So when I was seeing the red flags with my ex, as in, he started hitting me, he started the financial, because I say it's not only emotional abuse or domestic abuse, there was financial abuse, you know. So we'll go out on a date and then it will be like, oh, I forgot my wallet, oh, I will pay for the date. Hey, God. Now that I'm saying it, you know, he's very, very like, how could you? So the signs were there. You understand? I mean, he hit me before we got married, not after we got married. In fact, he hit me on the day he came to tell me that, oh, they have picked a date in registry. And guess what? I got pregnant, all right? Because I wasn't intentionally got pregnant, but you know, it was just me just trying to hold on to a relationship by all means. So I got pregnant before I slept with him.
I can relate to your words. I can really understand. But yeah, very, very relatable. Yeah, so just go on. So
the first time I slept with him, and that was it. After that, the pregnancy was rough and tough, and then, you know, he was like, he didn't want a pregnancy, this one, that one. Of course, me that have been close to his family, I quickly went to go and tell his family, you know, that kind of thing. And like I said, his family was, I think I married the family, not him. So I kept overlooking all those things. So I said the first time he hit me was when he came to tell me, and his family said, you must marry her, blah, blah, blah. He came to tell me in my house, like, remember I said I was living alone? He came that day, he slept over, right? And that was the day he came to tell me, well, I've picked March, what's the date? May 30th, I've picked May 30th at the registry, showed it to me. So I'm going to go to the registry also. So no, no romantic proposal of down on bended knee with ring, nothing like that. He just came to tell me, I picked whatever. And then he slept over in my house that night, okay? And in the middle of the night, I just kept hearing his phone, you know, then Nokia 3310, shout out to Nokia 3310. Just said, boom, boom, you know, what's happening? You know, when text messages are coming in, and then of course I went and opened, when they say don't open phone. I went and opened the phone, and I just saw that the text message was from his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend who was dating, apparently at that time, and the lady was like, what do you mean you're getting married? I think he told her about the date as well. So she even knew of the date before even me, the person that they were marrying. So, you know,
right.
Pardon?
I said the bride. You knew before the bride.
She knew before the bride, though. So, you know, so she was sending messages and she was upset after we've shared, after this, after that. You know, she was just saying, oh, you know, the loving things and everything. How can you do this to me? How can you? So I was like, what? And I woke him up, you know, like the movies now. I woke him up. What's this? Who is this person? I was, why did you take my phone? Why did you? We now started struggling for the phone, you know. I even fell off the bed. We're struggling. And the next thing was, wow, he just slapped me like,
wow.
You know, everything just started rushing back to me. I was like, because I remember when we were in school then, you know, like, a guy would touch you, lie, you can never, is a lie. You know, for a few hours, dazed. I was like, you slapped me. He said, yes. Why are you holding my phone? Why is it Why is it I'm seeing some comments there, but I can't, sorry, I can't say after my glasses. Is there anybody? No, Yoruba man, no. You know, so. A Yoruba man, Lagos guy. So, you know, and that was where the beating started from, you know, and it continued. But like I said, I kept making excuses for him and for the situation, because I kept thinking, okay, maybe when we're living, because like I said, all my mind was, let me just have my own home, my husband, my children. So all my mind was, when we start living together, all of these things will not happen anymore. It will not happen. It will not happen. And then, you know, it just went from 0 to 100, back to worstest, if there's anything like that, you know. And I stayed in there for 7 years, and the 7 years wasn't because I didn't know that I was being abused, because I said, we say, you should know better, you should do this. A lot of times, because of you people, that's why we don't live. What will you say? What will people say? It's the truth. What will people say? How will people look at you? And then amongst my friends, I was like the first person to get married. You know, you always have your age set. you know, and all of that. So we 78, 79 sets, you know, amongst that set, I was like, my friends were like I was like the first to get married, and I even had a child again, you know. So I didn't want to leave because I didn't want people to start saying, ah, you see. And then the other thing was, oh, my mom is a single mom. Her mom is a single mom. She's also following.
Play in your head, and you start thinking, why I need to break it. I need to break the circle.
Yes, you know, I wanted to be the one to break it, but more, you can't break something if you are dead, you know. And I'm always there's someone on this live that is making me laugh. Okay, you know, so I wanted to be the one to break that jinx of, no, I'm not going to be a single mom, you know. But it's a case of, like Job said, what I fear the most happened to me. But it was because I allowed it happen. I could have prevented it in the first instance with my why. Do you understand? If I'd understood why I was going into the marriage at that time, I didn't understand at that time. It's afterwards when I was trying to heal. That's why, like I said, I had to go through the life coaching process. Okay, I became a certified. But you know, my being a life coach was because I wanted to heal myself. It was not because I wanted to be coaching other people. Because honestly, like I tell people, it's the person that is wearing the shoe that knows where it pinches the most. Okay, do you understand?
Let me just stop a bit. You will continue later. I just want us to address, because you told us the why, right? Now, before we now go to how you now transition and how you were able to work out and all that, I just want to ask you, for your own why for getting married, a lot of times we've told women to love themselves first, no matter what happened. The best person that you can live with the longest period of time is yourself. And we've said it severally, if you cannot be with yourself alone, you cannot be with someone. So I want to ask you this. Your wife for getting married, what were the lessons that you learned from that personally?
I just learned that, like you said, I learned that you need to love yourself first. Very, very important. If you don't love yourself, nobody else can love you. So at that point in my life, like I said, growing up, even till like now, you see me, I dance a lot. I'm always dancing online and just goofing around, and everybody saying, "Nah, Bimbo, you always laugh, you're always happy." I decided I was not a happy person when I was growing up. To be honest, I wasn't a happy person. I wasn't a cheerful person. I wasn't me. You get? So I didn't love myself. Number one, I had a very low self-esteem. I felt like everybody else was better than me based on the circumstances of life that I've gone through. Okay, so broken home, lived with this person, and then of course the people I lived with, you know, they ill-treated me and all of that. So I was a broken person. I was an unhappy person. I was a miserable person. I had a lot of negatives. Do you understand? So I did not work on those things because I didn't even know I could work on it, to be honest. And then society too doesn't help us. All right, so our society has configured us that, oh, like I said, that blueprint we follow. You get married, finish school, you are working, you get married, you have children, and that's it. So I was living that life of being a wife, being a mother. I didn't live the life of being a woman, being Bimbo, being me.
Did you even have the opportunity to be a girl, to be a child?
God bless you. I didn't. Because even my childhood was already filled with responsibilities. By that age 6, 7, when I was living with people, I was already positioned to, oh, you are the house girl, glorified house girl, even though you understand, you are not taken as a house girl. You're supposed to be, we're all going to the same school in Ikoyi, but I was the one that was, you know, washing the plates, cleaning the house, you know, doing the house. You get what I mean? So I didn't have a chance, like you said, to be a child. I didn't even have the chance to be a girl, like a woman, a babe. I didn't have all of those. I just entered into, in fact, motherhood before wifehood, because I got pregnant before I got married, like I said. I was also showing my daughter, you know, she turned 20 last month, to the glory of God, and I was showing her a picture of our wedding day where we were carrying her in the picture. So I said, you are in the picture of the wedding, you know. I just made a joke out of her. She was laughing.
You married, your married wife and daughter, basically. Your ex.
I'm telling you, married wife, yeah. Because we went to the registry in May and I gave birth in September. So I did have, yes, thank you, Christy Queen. I can see someone writing there. So, you know, it was that factor. So I was raised in that way not to really appreciate myself. So I didn't feel like I deserved a man that would appreciate me. That's what happened. I didn't feel like that at all. So that's why I just, you know, got married then. And you know, I thank God for where I am now. I'm going to talk about God a lot. I'm sure you know me about for that. That is me, because that has been what has been keeping me even till this moment. You know, now I've left my ex 13 years ago. Funny enough, he got married. Was it 2020 or I can't remember. I can't remember. I think 2020 he got married. He remarried, yeah. And people still ask me, won't you get married? Won't you move on? Won't you this one? I tell myself, look, the first time I got married.
Get to that too. We'll get to why, if you want to, and
Okay,
why.
let me feel.
Yeah.
But what I just wanted to say is, so that I won't lose that train of thought, is the fact that now I know better, right? I know what I don't want, and I know what I want. Unlike back then, when I didn't even know what I wanted or whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And now, we cannot take away the place of experience, because everything we go through in life, there's something we take out, which is the experience you just told about, knowing better. Like, you know, when we talked about this episode, and I told you we want to talk about the why, it's a post of yours that I saw, and you were asking people, okay, don't let me jump the gun. Let me just throw it back to you. Now, if you're going to talk to your younger self, right? If you're going to advise your younger self now, before marriage, what would you tell that person?
I'll tell my younger self to wait, to be patient, and prayerfully consider every step that I want to take. Okay, that's what I'll tell my younger self, because I believe I wasn't patient enough. I felt like I needed to do this now. I needed to get into this marriage now. It is now, you know. What was pushing me? What was driving me? So I'm going to tell my younger self that, look, be patient. Understand why. We can't escape that why. Understand why you want to do what you're doing. Why do you want this job? Why do you want to get married? Why are you dating this person? Why? Okay, so I'm going to actually advise my younger self the topic of this discourse. You know, why? Why do you want to do what you want to do? Is it the right time? Or you feel it's the right time? I'm talking about time. Is there actually any right time to get married?
No time.
Because that's
I just told people there's no time limit. I don't know, maybe, okay, sorry I interrupted. Yeah. Because I think there is a kind of a shift in mentality when we leave Nigeria somewhat. There's a shift, there's a kind of a shift in the way we think, because you are in a climb where you see 56, 70, you know,
they're
just getting married first time, and there's really no big deal about it.
Yeah.
There's no time limit to this thing. I always tell people, when you have a conversation with a friend and they're like, you should try other to have a child. And I'll be like, I can't have your child. I can't carry your own children. Like, and you can't have mine.
Exactly.
So this pressure that the society puts on us with taking the particular time. You know? So I got on. I know you're trying to talk to the singles,
Yeah. But I think you said it. I think that's just it, basically, in a nutshell. Like telling my younger self or a younger person, don't be in a rush. Okay, just like we said, there is actually time for everything. Even the Bible says it. There's a time for everything. So don't be in a rush and then end up making mistakes, colossal mistakes that will never ever. You know, it will be a lifetime, because that marriage altered my life. That marriage impacted my life, made me who I am now. It made me go down a road that I had no business going down, but thank God, God kept me through. Do you understand? If I died in the marriage, you wouldn't even be talking to me. You wouldn't even know me, said. Do you understand? But apart from not even dying physically in the marriage, I lost a lot of things due to that marriage. I lost a lot of opportunities due to that marriage. My career went down the drain due to that marriage. I had to start afresh. Do you understand? Due to that marriage, just because of that simple mistake. Like I tell everybody, the worst thing that can happen to you is marrying the wrong person. Honestly, marrying the wrong person or being in a relationship with the wrong person. I'm sure you're on social media now. There's a lady that died recently. Funny enough, she's my namesake, Bimbo, and IVD.
Yeah.
22 years, according to what is it, 22 years of her life devoted to that man, you know, despite all the supposed red, she still kept staying, you know. So that is just what happens. Her whole life altered because of that.
That's the wrong
so
choice.
I'll just advise anyone, please be patient. Don't be in a hurry. People will talk, let them talk. See, you do good, people will talk. You do bad, people will talk. People are going to keep talking.
Were people not talking about Jesus? Was it everybody? I mean, come on, let's be real with ourselves with this thing.
People always talk. They don't. The people don't think of that. And then, like I tell my children too, even till I'm like, who made those people the authorities or the standard? Who made those people the standard that you are trying to achieve or you are trying to reach? When I was in my bad marriage, several times when he would beat me, I'll leave the house, maybe go and stay with his family members and everything, And then I tell them what I say, why were you protecting him? Why were you covering? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? They kept saying that until even when I left again, they were still saying, oh, they changed it again. So people will always talk. So just need to understand. And I think at every point in time, everyone needs to choose their happiness. Do you understand? Yeah, some people say you're being selfish, but the truth is, if you don't choose your happiness first, you will end up making so many mistakes that will now end up affecting other people's happiness. Because sometimes, if I look back at, and that's why I spoke about my children the other time, I was like, oh, I was very emotional because I remember the things they've gone through. And it was because their mom made that mistake of marrying,
the wrong person.
Their in that abusive situation and all of that. So I can still see the ripple effect. But thank God for Jesus, okay, it's getting better and they are coming out of it, so to speak.
Wow, so much, Bimbo. So let me go through some comments. Adetutu Oshofowara said, God bless you. That's on Facebook. I don't know if you can see that. Bless you, ma, for that single.
Facebook. Thank you.
Singleness is not supposed to be a disease to be cured by marriage. Marriage is a drug.
Wow.
Did you hear that? Wow. There is a question from Esther Queen. She said, your childhood, what was your mother's expression when you decided to leave him? Seeing that she's a single mom and you were about single mom too.
I didn't get that. Can you say that again? Sorry.
What was your mother's expression when you decided to leave him? Seeing that she is a single mom and you were about to be a single mom too.
Okay. Funny enough, my mom wanted me to leave him years before I actually did. Yeah, because she experienced him firsthand. In fact, he insulted my mom, firsthand. So my mom was going to be, that year, my mom was going to be 60, my mom is going to be 74 this year. So 24 years ago now. So my mom was going to be 60 and I was going to throw a party for her, right? So I said, okay, mommy, come and stay in my house for that duration. My mom had a house in Aja and then I was living at Papa Road. Yeah. So I said, mommy, come and stay in our house till after the party. Then you can go there. I said, because I will need something. I'll now be coming all the way. So I said, no, it won't be convenient. I said, so just stay there in my house until after the party you can now go. And she agreed. So that period she stayed in my house, she just started noticing all sorts. And then, my ex, in fact, one of our neighbors had to ask that, does he work with SSS? He doesn't come home until after 12:1. And that has always been, even before we got married. Remember I mentioned that he will leave me with his family and he will go out. He likes going out. That's him. All right. So when we're married, it was the same thing. He never stopped, right? So my mom was like, sorry, I'm speaking Yoruba, but she was like, when do you guys have time to talk? When do you have time to be husband and wife? So she was like, you guys, and it's true. He comes back like 1 in the middle of the night. And then in the morning, I was a banker at that time. I've gone to work. All right. I have to leave for work for 6. So my mom was like, how do you guys don't talk, you guys don't. And then of course, when he's in the room, we're always shouting and fighting fast. So my mom used to hear, so she was seeing all the loopholes and all of that. And she was lost, like shocked that what was happening, that kind of thing. And then of course, there was a time that he hit me in the room and all of that. I came out, what happened to your eye? And I was lying. And that was when my mother found out that, oh, so he even hits you. You get, my mother was like, he's not giving you money. He's hitting you. He's not staying in the house. He's not even helping you take care of the children because time that.
Why are you married? So why are you married?
Like that was asking. Hey, he's not doing anything. So I wake up in the morning. I'm going to bank or to work. I'll be the one that'll still take care of the children before they go to school. All right. And then, he's there at home sleeping and all. And my mom was like, until I can't remember, something happened and then there was a fight. We didn't do it inside the room. We did it outrightly. My mom was trying to intervene and it just shushed my mom up. I was even using O, and this same thing you said. I'm telling you, it was a. I still stayed with him after that. So, oh, I still stayed with him after that. So, you know, that period, my mom was like, you need to leave this marriage, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? I was in my mind, I was like, I don't want to be like you. I'm not leaving. So she wanted me to leave even before I left, you know, but I said, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. And then that 2019 that I left, eventually, the truth of the matter is I didn't even tell anybody. And that's another thing I want to quickly say. If the person being abused is not ready, they will not leave. You get? They will not leave. Because prior to now, I'd even tried leaving, I think 2 or 3 times before, but I always came back. And you know why? Because the places I was living to, they were not convenient. There was a time I left, I went to the hotel, I came back. There was a time I left, I went to stay with my friend's house. Her father now started having issues with the fact that, oh, with child, I left husband, I came back. The time I left again, I left to my auntie's place. My aunt now, after staying for a few weeks, my aunt was now saying, I'm sending her child too much. You know, it was, don't sleep on this chair, don't sit on this, So I was like, oh, the place I'm coming, let me go there. They're just beating me, but at least I have bed, I have, you know. So those were my thoughts, and then I will go back. But when I was going to leave finally in 2019, I made sure I rented a place and all of that.
Let's talk about, before we get, you now left finally. Let's run through some comments that came in. I'm just commenting too.
I'm not on Facebook. It's only IG I didn't want to trust me.
Getting worse. Societal pressure steady driving people. No, even what I'm reading on now on IG. Can IG comment?
Oh wow. Okay. I'm swiping.
Instagram.
Yeah, I'm swiping now. Society. Okay.
They are saying that the society.
Ayolano, please let me read this. I can't hear you again, no.
Okay.
I can't hear.
All right. So thank you all. We can see your comment. Okay. We can see all your comments. Even if we don't. Can you hear me now? Not it again.
What?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello, Bimbo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear you anymore. Breaking. What did you say?
Because I don't want us to start having breaking transmission. So let's transition to when you now finally